William, hopefully your favorite videographer from Two Hats Publishing. I welcome you to another Two Hats special of community events. Let's look in and see what's really happening.
What are your thoughts about the Department of Justice letter? We got to ask you about that.
Well, I think the threshold question is what is best for the city of Dallas? And the city of Dallas is the one to decide that. The city owns the airport. The city is the one that has the lease for the use of the airport, and they need to decide what they want to do. And then from there, I think they can figure out whether they can do what they want to do. But that's the first question that needs to be answered, is what's best for the city of Dallas and the people of Dallas.
What are you going to tell the city council today? What would you like to convey?
Well, we're simply going to reiterate what we've been saying. The city has already sanctioned its own independent consulting study, which says the Southwest is the best opportunity to grow in the city of Dallas. We've done our own independent study, which confirms that. And I think most experts would agree with that. You have the potential to offer more flights with more low fares to more destinations. It'll generate more traffic in and out of Dallas. We're the low fare leader in the United States of America, and we'll save over $200 million in airfares if you have Southwest with these two additional gates. So we'll continue to make that argument. We think that's what's best for the city. Obviously, this is our home. This is where our people live. I am very confident that it's the people of Southwest Airlines that will do the best for the city of Dallas, as they always have. It's a great place to work, but the best customer service is because of these people right here.
Yeah! Over the last 2 weeks, Virgin executives have promised their flights will be cheaper than what Southwest can offer in Airfield. What would you tell customers who ultimately would want a cheaper flight?
I would tell customers what we've been telling them for 43 years. We stand for low fares. We stand for great service served by great people. Everywhere we fly, competitors reduce their fares to Southwest levels. It doesn't matter whether it's Virgin, it doesn't matter whether it's a legacy airline. Our fares are lower, they reduce their fares to our levels. We are a low-cost, low-fare carrier. They are not. You're going to get the low fares with no bag fees, no change fees, and the best people at Southwest Airlines.
Yeah!
Yes! That is why!
If not awarded the gates, how would that impact the plans for all the flights you've been announcing over the past couple of months to the Caribbean and to New York and all that kind of stuff?
Well, we've announced our plans based on the gates that we have. So we're going to be able to grow very nicely beginning in October. No matter what, this is a year of celebration for the city of Dallas. The restrictions in the Ride Amendment finally come down here on October the 13th. We'll be adding 15 new destinations in October and November. Then we'll be adding another 5 more in 2015. So those plans are set and we'll follow through. We'll continue to work with the city of Dallas to see how we might be able to grow beyond that. That's what's great for the city here, is you have a company that's a hometown airline that has helped to build Love Field into the great place that it is today, and we have opportunities to grow. I mean, what city wouldn't want that? More jobs, more flights, more choice. It's just a great place to be. Love Field, of course, is a relatively small presence in the air market here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. 20 gates at Love Field. There's 155 gates at DFW. And DFW is the airport that is intended for growth from other airlines. And Love Field is a very small percentage of the total market. But that's our home. That's where we've been from the beginning. And we have no opportunity to grow at DFW. So the only way we can grow is to add flights at Love Field. And fortunately, that's what would be best for the city of Dallas.
You said that Love Field is intended for, DFW is intended for growth. This is what's being reported all week long. You heard it over and over again that Southwest would have 18 of the 20 gates if you get what you want from the city. Is that fair?
Well, it's one air market. You go back to what is the issue here in the first place? It is a merger between American and U.S. Airways. And because of their increased dominance, the Justice Department required them to divest assets at airports across the country. Chicago, LA, and Dallas. They didn't require them to divest gates at DFW. They required them to divest gates at Love Field. They don't even serve Love Field. The point is, this is one market, and we'll have 9% of the total capacity in the DFW market with the gates that we have. American has over 70% of the capacity. So that's where the competition needs to be. American is the big dominant player in the market, and our real estate is at Love Field. We chose 43 years ago not to serve DFW. We chose to serve Love Field. That's our home. We've been here all this time. Now that the restrictions are finally coming down, we would love the opportunity to grow, and we can only do that at Love Field.
I know that Southwest has been a good corporate citizen and a very good taxpayer to the city, and
Yes.
I know some of the
Thank
council members have noted that.
Yes.
Will there be any hard feelings if the city does not include Southwest in these 2 gates?
Well, first of all, the decision should be made on its merits. It should be made based on what's best for the city of Dallas. All the things that you said are true. Southwest is a great company. Southwest has the finest people in the world. It is always recognized year in, year out by Fortune magazine as one of the world's most admired corporations. All those things are true, but that shouldn't decide who gets these 2 gates. That should be based on the merits, and the merits basically suggest that Southwest Airlines is the best option.
Virgin is promising.
Because Southwest will bring more flights with lower fares, generate more traffic, and more savings that will drive the economy. We're talking about the potential to add 12 more nonstop destinations. That will be much more competitive for flyers in and out of Dallas against American Airlines at DFW Airport. No one else can offer that at Love Field. No one else can offer that kind of additional competition. We're the second largest carrier in the market, but we are a distant second to American, and we're in the best position to add more flights and lower fares so more people can afford to fly.
But can you really provide lower fares if you don't have as much competition? You don't have another airline come in and compete.
We do have competition. That is the whole point. The 2 airports are 10 miles apart. It is one market. We have serious competition in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. People make the argument that there's no competition. That is just flat wrong. This is a highly competitive market. It is heavily dominated by one airline. The Justice Department insisted that that airline reduce its presence in the market, and at Love Field puts us in a great position to be able to take the risk, buy the airplanes, hire the employees, add the flights, and bring low cost and low fares to Dallas.
Let me just step in and let's let these guys pass, please. So, thank you.
Everybody would think it was coming for you.
Boy,
Yeah, something I said, I don't know.
Just yesterday, Sir Richard Branson pointed to rising fares over the last 5 years and said, look, we will beat those fares at Love Field. Can you respond to that specific claim?
We compete against every airline in America. Everywhere we go, we lower fares. And that airline in particular, they lower their fares when Southwest is in the market. So we face competition all over the country. We face it seriously here in Dallas and all over Texas. And we are the low fare carrier. We're the only carrier that doesn't charge for the first 2 bags. We're the only carrier that doesn't charge for change fees. No one can beat that package. And I would add that our people add such a special icing on the cake here because of the friendly, caring, considerate service that they offer. It's just an unbeatable package, in my opinion.
Maybe personally, did it bother you personally that they already started selling tickets out of those 2 gates for October flights?
It's nothing that we focus on. Our focus is on supporting the city of Dallas and their process with these 2 gates. We have a laser-like focus on that. We're very respectfully supporting this process. That's why we're here today, is to support the city council in their deliberations.
What do you think are the odds that City Council will side with Southwest versus Virgin?
I don't know that I would put odds on it. The issue is Love Field is legally constrained to only 20 gates. And with Southwest support over 43 years, it has now become a hot, popular property, and we're proud of that. Were it not for that, there wouldn't be any debate. We would simply go build 2 more gates, and I think everybody would be happy. But the fact of the matter is, there's only a couple of gates. Again, what is ironic is we're all here talking about 2 gates. So there are all the gates in the world that one would need at DFW Airport. But I don't know how to assess the odds. I think it will be up to the city to deliberate. Obviously, they're trying to be very careful and thoughtful about it. They've got a recommendation that Southwest is the best option. I think that's a pretty smart consultant, and we're here to support that.
Proposal. The one that's been submitted is between American and Virgin. So has Southwest submitted its own proposal, or at least talked to American about how this would go forward if the city?
I think the city would be in the best position to describe the process that they're working through. But that has not been part of the process. In other words, we haven't been asked to go make a proposal to American for a sublease. So right now we're simply working with the city and American. We've obviously talked to American about this, and that is their understanding as well, that we should be talking to the city, and that's what we're doing.
Have you submitted something specifically to the city, sent a proposal to the city then for them to consider?
Well, yes, yeah, we've absolutely, we've made clear that we would be very willing to step up and sublease these 2 gates in whatever form they want to contractually lease the gates with us. We'd be more than happy to do that.
The lease agreements generally say require reasonable accommodation to any other carrier who wants to use the leases. If someone has a preferential lease on, is there, as you see it for your 16 gates, and then if you get 18 gates, will there be any space between your takeoff and landings for a reasonable accommodating other carriers at your gates?
Terry, as you know, those are very typical conditions, and Southwest, we heavily utilize our facilities. That's one of the ways that we get our low cost. There may be 15 minutes during a day that somebody might be able to use one of our gates, but for the most part, no, I would expect that we will fully utilize not just the 16, but we can certainly fully utilize 18 gates. We'd have a lot more flights with 18 gates than we would have with 16 gates.
Are you considering 10 as the minimum for each gate?
I think that's yet to be determined. A lot has changed over the years. Most customers now want to fly during what I would call a 12-hour day, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So we'll just have to see how many flights we can get into that prime period. but we'll put as many flights on those gates as customer demand suggests.
How many more flights?
Well, what we've talked about is if we get 2 more gates, we would add 20 flights to 12 new nonstop destinations.
Last couple of questions, guys. Here.
You pointed to no change fees and no baggage fees as a
Correct.
when I asked you about low fares.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that something that you expect? Because there have been some articles in the past about possibility in the future because of customer acceptance of baggage fees. Perhaps Southwest would implement them in the future. Are you committed to the airline having no baggage fees in the future?
That we have no plans to change any of our policies.
Do you expect a decision today? Do you want it by the end of the week? This has become a pretty public spat between Southwest and Virgin. When do you want this to end? When do you expect it to end?
Well, again, it's not a spat. It's really what's best for the city of Dallas. It's up to the city to decide that. I don't really have an expectation for today. They're going to be briefed, and according to the agenda, they'll go into executive session and have a discussion. We'll all be available if they have any questions for Southwest Airlines, but otherwise, we haven't been notified one way or the other as to whether or not there'll be a decision today.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
This is William, hopefully your favorite videographer from Two Hats Publishing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please leave comments below, or like, follow, or subscribe to us and get notices of all our videos. We love it, even when you call.